All right, hold on. We're gonna slow it down right now, y'all. I got that new buckets. Let the music take control, baby. That's it. Round and round.
You hypnotize me.
Woo! Y'all lost in the South now, huh? I think y'all ready for climax. See y'all with that mind control music. So I got one more thing I need you to do.
And so here we go again. Welcome to the Dark Times channel. And before I get started, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not new to the channel and you've been enjoying the content so far, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And so whenever we see a black entertainer now, male, female, whatever the case may be, they're going to be acting out in ways that you would never see your mother, sister, brother, father act out in a million years. For 99.9% of us.
I'll finish shake this ass, cause my bills is due. You know I got that good cat, this coochie ain't loose.
That's something that we never see. It's not our reality. It's not what we actually know. This is something that's purely promoted through mass media, and it's promoted throughout the world. And then after watching it and consuming it for so long, people are almost helpless against that. Like I've said before a million times, people are only as good as their model. After a while, that becomes reality and that becomes who you are. Maybe not on a micro level, but on a macro level. That becomes who you are as a people. That's how people identify you as. And so therefore, that's how you identify yourself.
Example, like when I said black culture promotes degeneracy, that's something that everybody knows. It's all just drugs, murder. And we all know that when they talk about we need to protect black culture, this is the number one. This is how you prove that black culture in America promotes degeneracy.
And so we have individuals like this guy right here coming over here from whatever country that he came from. And I'm sure he gravitated towards the first degenerate so-called black people that he could. And I'm sure they probably embraced him and accepted him with open arms. But then the first opportunity like somebody like this gets, they flip. They flip on you. They hit a switch. And then on top of that, they have the audacity to turn around and try to define to the world what black culture is and what black culture isn't. And that's a problem. People like this, especially foreigners from other countries and they come over to America, people like that know exactly what black culture is and what black culture isn't. They know black culture isn't defined by what's promoted to the masses. They know good and well what they're doing. They're aligning themselves with a certain power structure. It's survival. They know good and well that we don't have the power to put a stop to this degenerate culture that's promoted. We're not in a position to do it. Promoting degenerate culture is big business on a lot of different levels. On an individual basis, we can't go out, or even on a collective basis, we can't go out and buy record distribution companies. The last two groups of black people who tried to do that, it didn't turn out so well. Even when you reach that billionaire status, you can't go out and buy an NBC because we saw what happens when you do that. And so it makes very little difference how much we kick, scream, and complain about the perpetual promotion of degenerate culture, degenerate so-called black culture within society. And so all we really can do is sit back and watch. Nothing's going to change, no matter how much you complain. If anything, it's going to intensify, and we're seeing it happen and play out right in front of our eyes. And so that's why I said you have to be a little bit of a nihilist and not care, because you'll wind up driving yourself crazy. And half of these people who are playing out some of this degenerate culture and performing some of this degenerate behavior, half these people are not who they say they are to begin with. And so there's a reason I had the intro from the movie They Cloned Tyrone at the beginning. And I had a few people in my inbox and some people in my comment section that wanted me to do a complete breakdown of the film They Cloned Tyrone starring Jamie Foxx. And I started to, but then I thought about it. But I'm only going to be able to go so far on this particular platform anyway. So what's the point? What's the purpose? So rather than do a complete breakdown of the movie, I want to discuss some of the elements of the movie and how it's closer to reality than most people actually think, especially when it comes to the music part of it.
Slick. You hypnotized me. Shit.
Feeling good, feeling real good, ain't we?
They're pretty much telling you what they're doing. They're showing you right in the movies what they're doing. We're able to affect your mood. We're able to affect what you're going to do to a certain degree. And there's a couple of reasons why they put it in the movies. There's a couple of reasons why they put it right there in the movies, right in your face. It's like Michael Jordan or Larry Bird back in the day going up to an opponent and telling them, I'm going to go left on this next play and I'm going to shoot a jump shot in your face and there's nothing you can do about it. It's demoralizing. I just told you exactly what I'm going to do and there's nothing you can do about it. Try to stop me and see what happens. And there's a million different places that I could take this, especially with this movie, They Cloned Tyrone. There's so many different innuendos in this movie, and like I said, all the different conspiracy theories that we've heard over the past 20 and 30 years, everything is all in this movie. And if y'all want to check that out, I suggest y'all go watch Bobby Hemmett, because on this platform, there's no way I'm gonna even risk it. We're almost at a state of point where if you know, you know. And so it becomes this perpetual game where they would have us blame ourselves for our condition, for the so-called black condition. And then it turns into something else. It turns into psychological torment. And I wanted to make this video and I wanted to put this out there because I know there's a lot of individuals out there like myself that are disgusted when they see this level of degeneracy out there within so-called black culture. But I just want to make sure that we don't internalize this as something of our own doing or our own fault, because it's not. It's not. So our hands are tied. Our hands are tied, and it's best to take this nihilistic approach and sit back and enjoy the putrefaction process in which we continue to become something anew, something the world hasn't seen before, because it happens every time. It happens every time. Anytime you suppress a people and hold the people down and do the worst that you can to a specific group of people, something new forms, either intended or unintended. And that's the process we have to go through. And so I think that's going to be a wrap for this particular video, but definitely chime in the comment section and let me know how you guys feel about this one. And as usual, peace and chaos.